2, 3, 4.
Many times I tried to tell you, many times I cried alone. Always I'm surprised how well you cut my feelings to the bone. Don't wanna leave you really, I've invested too much time to give you up that easy. To the doubt to complicate your mind. We belong to the light, we belong to the thunder. We belong to the sound of the world before falling under. What if we deny our embrace for worse or for better? We belong together. Maybe it's a sign of weakness when I don't know what to say. Maybe I just wouldn't know what to do with my strength anyway. Have we become a habit? Do we distort the facts? Now there's no looking forward. Now there's no turning back. When you say we belong to the light, we belong to the thunder. We belong to the sound of the words before falling under. What if we deny our embrace for worse or for better? We belong together. Close your eyes and try to sleep now. Close your eyes and try to dream. Clear your mind and do your best to try and wash the palate clean. We can't begin to know it, how much we really care. I hear your voice inside me, I see your face everywhere. Till you say we belong to the light, we belong to the thunder. We belong to the sound of the words before falling under. What if we deny our embrace for worse or for better? We belong together. We belong to the light, we belong to the thunder. We belong to the sound of the words before falling under. What if we deny our embrace for worse or for better? We belong together. We belong together.
Hi everyone! I hope you guys love that song as much as I do. I was asked to play that song last night. It was dropped into my awareness and I thought I'd pick an acoustic version so I don't get dinged for copyright. And that song is just super powerful. There's so many messages I have for you today from the Pleiadians. Last night while I was in meditation, I was asked to connect with the Pleiadian mothership. And I was on board and I have quite a few messages for you guys today. Hi everyone, Alicia, Rainbow Sun, Laura Lee, Kathleen, Serge, Sam Ran, hi, sweetie. How are you, Zachary? And Cormac, hi. Okay, so wow, I have a lot to cover right now, a lot to cover. And these messages are pertaining to your own individual journey as well as what's happening globally for us collectively, okay? So basically, last night while in meditation, the Pleiadians showed me that there is a portal, a very important portal that is open right now. And it is important for us to take advantage of what's coming through, the type of energies that are coming through the portal. And they said through the Aquarius stellium that we're experiencing right now, it's an opening of a portal for humanity, a coming together, and it's needed now. It's needed for many of us to come together, not just globally, but in your own individual life as well, okay? And action is absolutely necessary. So what I was shown with coming through the portal were, so I've got tons of notes here, so just don't mind me if I'm looking down. They are showing me blue waves coming through this portal. And then they showed me wild horses running free. Oh, it was so beautiful. So it's the energy of blue waves and the energy of wild horses running free that is coming through this Aquarius stellium portal that is open right now for us. And they asked me to pay attention to the sound of the hooves running across the earth and to remember that you have an impact, and especially you have an impact when you come together and work as one cohesive unit. They also said, which was kind of cool because it relates to the song that I just played, they said the hooves also sound like thunder. You know, when you hear hundreds, if not like, hundreds and hundreds of horses running together, wild horses, the sound of their hooves on the ground is just like, that energy is unstoppable. It is coming for you. And it sounds like thunder. And so they said to bring the thunder during this portal time. And it's time for us as a collective to bring the thunder, but also in your own personal journey, on your own personal path of ascension, it's time to bring the thunder. Let it reverberate across the land, for humanity is coming into power, they said. Take back what is rightfully yours. You simply need to declare it so, that is all, and then stand in that power unwavering. This applies to the individual journey as well as the collective. And I'm probably going to keep saying that because I just want to make that known to everyone here. And there's a reason why I'm going to keep saying it, and I'll get to that in a minute. Salma, you can go back to the beginning if you want. Just hit the little thing and go right back to the beginning. You absolutely can do that. So I thought of looking up wild horses for us, the spirit message behind wild horses. And I want to read this to you guys. A wild horse brings vitality and freedom in on its galloping hooves. There is no constraining horse when it's running with the wind. Now, the wind, I thought that was so interesting when I read that, because what sign are we in right now? We're in the sign of Aquarius. And this is the Aquarius stellium that this portal is opening through. Well, Aquarius is an air sign. And it's interesting that they also chose that song that I just played, and it's reminding us that we are the light, we are the thunder. And you can take that as much as going into lightning and thunder, and the energy waves, which can be looked at as water waves in Aquarius, which Mary Ducina talked about on the podcast, are actually energy waves or air waves as well, right? Not just water. And so there is no constraining horse when it runs with the wind, but the creature also enjoys the company of family and friends. It's always more fun to gallop together in a setting where individuality never gets lost. And so right now, this portal is asking us to not just interact with the air elementals right now, but to also come together as one without sacrificing your own individuality. How does that look? Because Aquarius is the sign of rebellion. It's the sign of liberation. It is the sign for the people. It is a sign for you as an individual to liberate yourself from the constraints of whatever has been holding you back, whether it's society, your parents, your job, whatever it is that holds you back. This is the sign of setting yourself free and exploring. Sometimes the Aquarian energy is kind of related to like a teenager who's trying to spread their wings and fly. So that's why horse symbolism speaks to your social nature and how you connect with those you hold dear. Now, Carl Jung suggested that horse symbolizes personal power and the thing you master in your life and your natural gifts. Horse is a creature representing success and self-actualization. So right now, the portal of the bringing the energy of the wild horses running free is asking all of us to really get in touch with what are the gifts that have been coming online for you that you've been scared to use. What has been coming to the surface for you that deep down on a soul level you're being prompted to utilize, to bring into action now, but you haven't. Because right now there's an energy here that is bringing in this success and self-actualization. So this is a beautiful time to actually capitalize on this through this portal that's open for us. When you know what drives you and puts the awareness of your motivations to work, you can get further and faster than you ever imagined possible. And for us, what I know the Pleiadians are trying to drive home with this message is that we need to know what is driving us. Why did we come here? What is it just from an individual level is to liberate yourself from the matrix system, right? To liberate yourself from the enslavement of this planet Earth, this reincarnation cycle that we all got stuck into, but then also to help humanity on a whole liberate. They're emphasizing put your awareness and your motivations to work because you can get further and faster than you ever imagined possible. And I'm kind of getting chills right now because the Pleiadians really want us to remember that, in that anything is still possible and to not feel defeated in any way. Now back to the wind. Horse spirit loves to work with the winds. As an animal spirit guide, horse is an excellent teacher about personal energy and working with air elementals. No matter where horse spirit takes you, you will always have a sense of balance, of how to ride and not fall or fail in your duty. And so I feel like the Pleiadians really want us to recall what our own personal mission is at this moment, what it is that you need to do today to have a sense of success in completing your own duties here, just on your own soul level. Okay, and then how does that translate further into the macrocosm? Now, what also they were showing me, as I mentioned before, is the blue wave energy that's coming through this portal. So as I was sitting there watching the blue waves and the running wild horses, I was like, okay, the blue waves, the blue represents, the blue color ray is Archangel Michael. And I was like, oh, Archangel Michael. And then I was like, of course this is coming through. Because for any of you who were in my Starseed Technology class on Monday, you know that we were working with the angelic realm, specifically Archangel Michael. Now, he came to me in Montana and channeled a message from him for my Starseed Activation class on Monday night, which we used as our guidance in activating DNA. So I'm going to read you actually the channeled message that I received from Archangel Michael because it's very pertinent to this entire Pleiadian message. But first, I just want to remind you guys that Michael is the leader of the holy angels and is in charge of the blue angelic light ray. Michael is known for his exceptional strength and courage. And I feel right now that the reason why he's coming through is because many of us need that strength and courage. He's a leader who fights for good to prevail over evil. He protects and defends people who love God, Creator. People sometimes ask for Michael's help to gain the courage they need to overcome their fears, obtain strength, and to resist temptations to sin. and instead do what's right and stay safe in dangerous situations. So I feel many of us are being called right now to find that strength and overcome certain fears that are holding us back from our own personal journey, as well as what we're witnessing right now on a global scale. So here is the channeled message that I received from Archangel Michael while I was in Montana last week. Be fearless in your pursuit for the truth. Thy sword is always active in your heart. Swiftness is key, for in delay there is room for error. This error is rooted in self-doubt, a detachment from the deep knowingness you harbor within. Your connectedness is severed not by the sword, but by the ego wanting to be right, needing to be right. What is right is not as important as what is holy and good for all. You will know this difference via the activation of your sword of truth that never leads you astray. The time for humanity to come together in truth is upon you. Allow the bells of truth to ring across the land of sovereignty you all came here to fight for. Your sovereignty is the most powerful source of your own divinity that threatens the collapse of the house of cards the current system is built on. Use your sword wisely. Your sword is your tongue. Your sword is your word. Your sword is your mind. Wisdom is encouraged at all times as you rise to the mission you came here to complete. The angelic realm stands behind you. We stand with you. May your sword fall mightily on the darkness by bringing light to all that is hidden. So, I get chills every time I read this. May your sword fall mightily on the darkness by bringing light to all that is hidden. Now, first of all, that applies to you on an individual level of your own shadow work. Where have you been hiding? Where have you been resisting change within your own self for fear of going into the unknown places, the darkness, the traumas, the pains, the dramas, all of that stuff? It is time to have the courage to face your own darkness at this time. Now, the messages that are truly coming forward at this time during this portal is that we have to be active as a hero in our own journey. We need to find a way to rise above the hardships, whether they're hardships within your own personal life right now, hardships collectively. We need to find a way to rise above those hardships and begin taking steps that empower you and what it means for you to live authentically in this now moment. Because Aquarian energy is about, as much as it is about humanity and the good of all, coming together as a collective, it is also about individualization. And it's important on this journey of ascension, the path of ascension that we're all on, that we honor our own individuality. Who are you? Like the questions we ask, like, who am I deep down? Who have I been holding back out of fear that others will judge me? Who am I that wants to speak so bravely? What do I want to do with my life? How do I want to serve humanity? How do I want to express myself in this moment? How have I not been doing any of that? How have I been holding myself back? Because it's time to really have a little bit more rebellious energy, not in a sense of being a jerk, but being rebellious in pursuit of your own love for self, in expressing true self-love and value from the place of your own divinity. And it's time to create your future now, was another message that came through with the Pleiadians. It's time to create your future now. If you don't like your present moment, if you don't like what's happening in your life right now, what can you do today to change it? It's time for us to come together, and we need to be putting our focus on community and finding our tribe, okay? And that's very much something that's happened. And if you're having difficulty finding your tribe, I highly suggest you join my alchemy program. Everyone who's in the chat, there's many of the alchemists in this chat right now, and I can't express to you guys how many people have formed incredible friendships and found a community where they know they feel safe and they belong and they can express themselves in ways that they're not comfortable expressing themselves in this world yet. This is the time to find your community. It's time to also, the Aquarian portal energy that's coming through, it's time to break up existing paradigms and replace them with new paradigms. Okay? Things are not working anymore, and we've known that. They're outdated. And the important thing to remember about this is whatever you're going to do right now during this portal energy, okay, during this Aquarius stellium that we're experiencing, which I will go into, oh God, there's so much information. You're going to start feeling some more of the activations towards the end of February because more of the planets like Saturn and Jupiter and Mercury are going, not Mercury. Yes, Mercury are going to become more visible towards the last week or so, last 10 days to a week of February, which means they're powering up again. They're invisible because the sun is blocking them, because they're all with the sun right now in Aquarius. But the reason why I'm saying this is because we have a huge square coming up on the 17th of Uranus and Saturn squaring off. Saturn in Aquarius with Uranus in Taurus. And this is kind of a big deal because whatever we're kind of putting into motion right now, this Aquarian liberation energy is going to follow you for the next 20 years or so. Okay? So there's a lot to take into account here because what we do now will set the tone for the next 20 years in your own life as well as for humanity. It's a very critical time right now. It's very critical. It's not the time to be sitting back, wishing things were different. It's about now being the change that you want to see. And that takes me to the Aquarian energy. Aquarian energy is very much wanting to change the world, but yet not wanting to change self. Usually Aquarians are really good at pointing out everything that needs to be changed around them, but not really good about seeing it within themselves. And I mean, that goes for a lot of us, but that's the typical Aquarian energy. And the important message here is that we have to embody the change within us first. It is so important. So important because the only way to shift your reality is to change the projection of the internal landscape within you. Okay, so when you start to shift the internal reality on your soul level, you then are projecting a whole new reality into this world. I promise you, it's the only way that we can have change. And so we need to put less of our focus on the problems outside of us and put more of the energy into, well, first, what we need to change within our own selves, what's being called for healing, what's being called to our awareness right now. And then instead of always looking at what's wrong in this world, focus on solution-oriented energy. This was really driven home last night while I was speaking with the Pleiadians. It is time to focus on solutions, not what's wrong. And this is a time for awakening. This is a time for enlightenment. And it is a time for ground-breaking change. And I promise you, from my perspective, okay, what I see, and again, don't forget to tune into my podcast this Tuesday, the 16th of February at 8 p.m. Eastern on my YouTube channel. You will be shown ways that you can become an active participant in this groundbreaking change of restoring rights, your own human rights, restoring God-given liberties, okay? And the As David on Above Duality says, the good news is that you're the change, and the bad news is that you're the change, or something along those lines. I'm probably butchering it, but the only way things are going to change here is through each of us taking active steps. We need to be participants. We need to exit a codependent system that's been created purposely for us to be dependent on it, and start understanding how we are constantly actively participating in our own liberation, our own sovereignty, and the protection of our own freedoms and rights. Okay, so this was really what the Pleiadians asked me to drive home, to pay attention to this portal, to use the incoming energies, to really think of yourself as a wild horse running free, with all of us running free beside you, to channel that wild horse spirit, and to also engage with the blue wave energy, the blue light of Archangel Michael, that brings courage and determination for overcoming obstacles, for bringing truth to light, and for not just bringing truth to light, but also expressing that truth in whatever ways is right for you in this moment. So that is that is basically the message for you. What did you guys think of the song, the opening song that they gave me to kind of launch this whole portal message? It was really interesting being there, and when I kind of I was like, oh, I know this song that they're giving me. I know it, and I had to go look it up on YouTube, and then I was like, oh, this is the one they want me to play. I was just so excited because I'm a total 80s girl. I love the 80s. I mean, my whole childhood was pretty much spent in the 80s, aside from a few years in the 70s. But my solid memories are all 80s music, so I loved it. And I would encourage you guys to listen to that music and really allow the song, because there's a certain vibration and frequency in that song that inspires you to remember that you are the light, you are the thunder. And it's time for us to come together. And there's also a point in the lyrics there where it's for better or for worse, we embrace one another. Right? Like, no matter what's happening, we still forge forward together. And actually, they don't even say you don't look forward, you don't look back. It's all that matters right now is the now, the present moment. And that's what we have to focus on, is the now. Through inspiration of what we want our future to be, but channeling it in this present moment now. You guys love the song. Awesome song, beautiful. The song is wonderful. We belong to each other. Yeah. Debbie Briggs, the male energy, male warrior energy I see in you, Nicole, when it merges with the heart. Wow. Oh, so cool. And so guys, I love you all. I just wanted to give you guys this message going into the weekend. For those of you in North America, we're all being plunged into some polar Arctic weather right now. Stay warm this weekend. Bundle up. I personally have leg warmers on right now. Actually, let me see if I can show you guys. I have my leg warmers and my slippers on. Can you see my pink fuzzy slippers? Yeah. I'm channeling 80s right now. No, I literally do have leg warmers because I do love the 80s. And it's freaking cold. It's freaking cold out here. So, okay, guys. Now, on the 22nd, the 222 portal, Starseed Technology class is the next one. We will be doing another class, and it will be kind of capitalizing on this Aquarian energy in this portal. So if you'd like to join Kathy and I for that activation, that DNA activation class, link is in the description below. If you want to help find your tribe, if you're feeling alone and you don't know where to turn, please, the link for my alchemy is down below as well. Join us. It's a growing family. And I have my live call this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going live together where we're going to go over all of the astrology and other messages that I'm being guided to share with you. So again, I'll look forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday night for the podcast. I'm excited. You guys rock. You're amazing. Kathleen, you have leg warmers at home too? Yeah. You know what? When you live in cold places, leg warmers are needed. All right, guys, I love you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'm going to be back with you guys